must realize you are doomed.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining the Scoundrel Podcast. Dave and Rich here. We're going to talk about Andor, a preview, what we want and what we don't want to see, and who's going to make a cameo. What's up? But wait a second, we got a special guest here with us. We got Mr. Gio right down there. Gio, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Oh, thank you for having me. Good, man. Good. I'm ready to talk some Star Wars.
So, me, fellas, I am so excited and so hyped to see the Andor series. I'm a big fan of Rogue One. I think it's one of the best movies Disney Star Wars has ever done yet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely on my top 5 for sure of all of them, I think. But man, I was so in love with this movie, and it's the same people who did it are going to be doing Andor, and I'm excited. How about you, Rich? Are you excited about this?
Oh, definitely. You know my excitement for this show.
Yes. Gio, I know you're excited, and I know you actually recently just seen Rogue One on IMAX. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went back for the re-release.
Wow.
Yeah. No, man, I was like, I haven't seen it since like 6 years ago or whatever it was that the original release, and I heard they were re-releasing it on IMAX, and I wanted to check it out. And the little clip, that they showed, I was like, let me just. It's a Tuesday. It's cheap. I'm free. Let's go.
Was the clip worth it?
I mean, to just go for the clip alone, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
There's parts of there's parts of that clip in the trailer and stuff. It's just more extended, pretty much.
Right. Well, we're gonna deep dive and see a preview of Andor and just really get into it, folks. So, Rich, I want to start with you. Give me 2 picks, or well, not 2 picks, 2 things you want to see out of this series, out of this first season. 2 things, please.
2 things would one of my number one would have to be because whenever they showed the trailer to this show, it seems very political. I want to see what it's all about, what they're talking about, especially in the trailer. Number 2 would be hopefully a character from the actual Rogue One movie. I don't know who would be. I'm not sure yet, but there's a lot of characters from Rogue One, a lot of likable characters, lovable characters from Rogue One that I would love to see them make a cameo or something.
Yeah, definitely. From the original one of the Rogue One, be awesome to see a cameo and out of one of them. And be perfectly honest with you, one character I would definitely love to see, as a cameo, as one of the things I would like to see coming from this is Grand Admiral Tarkin, maybe. And I know that he's dead and blah blah blah. Yeah, but he was in Rogue One as far as CGI'd him.
Yeah.
That's all we need, was just not much, but like a 10-second CGI. And him talking
good.
for 5 seconds, I think that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Just to see him in there for 10 seconds, 20 seconds at the most, just to get a little hello from him. But Gio, what's one thing for sure you would love to see from this series?
I'm with Rich. I'm with you too, man. That's one of the great things about Rogue One were the characters, man. Like to have that many characters and like almost all of them just hit, and like they grew on you even just within the hour and a half or whatever the movie was, and that takes some good work to be able to get some character development like that. But like I would love to see Donnie, like going back and having seen the movie recently again, like Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. He is so good.
His character was too short lived, man. I want to see more.
Yeah,
I want to see the beginning of how him and his buddy like started. So I would love that.
Yeah, like they were like what the protector of the wills or something they called them. Like to see that backstory, that would be really cool. But other than like characters, I just want to see like a grounded Star Wars, man. Like something a little more serious, a little darker than what we've gotten so far.
That'd be good. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. I know we already know that Saw Gerrera is going to be in here. Gio, I'll start with you. What is the chances that how much we're going to see out of him out of the first season? Do you want to see a lot of Saw Gerrera? Do you not want to see too much of him? What is your thoughts on what you want to see out of Saw Gerrera in this first season here?
Yeah, Saw Gerrera, like Forrest Whitaker knocks it out of the park too, like in a lot of things that he does. So yeah, I'd like to see him. I want to see where they go with him because I know he's like the extremist
Yeah.
action of the rebellion, right? So yeah, I'd like to see him. I do want to kind of get introduced to some new characters too, though. So some of him, but not too much.
Got you.
So
Yeah, I definitely. I'm sorry, Rich. I definitely want to see Saw Gerrera, and I actually want to see him be why they call him an extremist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I want him to demonstrate to us, like, okay, they call him an extremist because he did X, Y, and Z, and this is how he handled negotiations and whatnot. And I know I want to know if is he was he originally like that with no feet and or legs or whatever, and because in Rogue One they were kind of like mechanical, and he had a
Yeah,
breathing device. Well, what happened?
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
What
he
was he
was
happened
beat
always like
up,
that?
dude.
after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Rich? What do you expect from Saw Gerrera? What would you like to see and not see from him?
So since they added him to the most recent trailer that we saw, I'm
Hmm.
hoping we see a lot of Saw Gerrera. I would love to see a lot of him. Just from us watching when we did watch Bad Batch. I know I didn't finish Bad Batch whenever we were reviewing it and everything, but Saw Gerrera was in that too. And I would love to see more of Saw Gerrera. Like you said, I want to see more of his backstory, how he became an extremist, just like you were saying. So I'm expecting a lot of Saw Gerrera, and I'm gonna love it if they do feature him a lot in this show.
Now, what's the probability, Rich, of the stormtroopers maybe in here actually got some accuracy to their shot? Is there a good chance?
By the history, by analytics, no, no way, man. I don't see them. They're gonna be missing a lot of shots.
Okay.
Even on old mechanical legs, Forrest Whitaker's character Saw Gerrera. I just don't see it. I just don't see it
Like,
happening.
how can you miss him? He can barely
Yeah,
walk.
he could
Mm.
barely walk.
Gio, what would you like to see from Cassian himself? What's some of the stuff you would like to see, with the rebellion, starting out? It's going to be first season, so you're going to get a lot of his backstory. And
Yeah.
what is it you want to see from his character?
Well, obviously he goes through some stuff.
Hmm.
Everything that he says in Rogue One, like I've done some things that I've lost myself over for the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done things that you wouldn't want to see, or so I want to see
Exactly.
those. I want to see that dark stuff that he's talking about, like what made him so emotional and like so into the rebellion.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely interested in his character, where his background is from before he became on the rebel side, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm curious about how the rebels really did start. I know in the prequels, it kind of started with the Revenge of the Sith. I think it was a deleted scene, and you would see like and Padme actually kind of started a little bit in a deleted scene of Revenge of the Sith.
We cannot let 1,000 years of democracy disappear without a fight. And we cannot continue debating about this any longer. We have decided to do what we can to stop it. Senator Mon Mothma and I are putting together an organization.
Say no more, Senator. I understand. At this point, some things are better left unsaid.
Kind of talking to a group of people and trying to come together to overthrow the empire, but Palpatine actually at that moment. Rich, what would you like to see out of Cassian over on season 1?
It's funny. I feel like we all have the same type of mindset because we all have the same type of wants out of the show. I do, just like you guys. I want to see where Cassian started, because whenever he's introduced to us in Rogue One, he's already deep in to like the rebellion and everything. So I would
Right.
love to. I obviously want to see how he started, but I also want to see Diego Luna again, just the actor himself, and how he
Mm.
does with a solo. Like he obviously in Rogue One, it was him and I forgot the name of the chick. Felicity
Felicity
Jones.
Jones.
Felicity,
Yeah,
yeah.
Felicity Jones. Like those two were like the main ones from the movie. But I would love to see how he does standalone. You know, yeah, he's
Mhm.
got Forrest Whitaker. We don't know how much they're going to show of Saw Gerrera, but I would love to see how Diego Luna does as like this being his show.
You know that just talking about that with Felicity Jones. She was, Jern Urso was with Saw Gerrera for a few years. At least I think it was.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance maybe you see a little Jin with him? Maybe in an appearance?
Hopefully not, man. We already did the little girl with Obi-Wan. We don't need the little girl with Saw Gerrera, man. Like enough of these escort missions.
Yeah, that is true though, man. That is true. I never thought about that. Yeah, she was with Saw Gerrera for a while, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do that, but I just thought I'd put it in there. I like your response, Gio, for sure on that one about the escort. Now we talked about stuff that we want to kind of see out of this series, but can you name me a thing or two that you don't want to see, Rich, coming out of this series?
don't want to see.
Yeah,
Hmm.
anything you could think of that you don't want to see coming out of this series that they could do.
I can't even think of anything honestly. Whenever I think about this show, maybe just a character that probably everyone's tired of seeing, like Emperor Palpatine. No one. I mean, I know a
Oh,
lot
okay,
of people
okay.
are, especially with the way that um Rise of the Skywalker ended. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are just like, Palpatine, no, thank you.
Oh, dude, but
Don't want to see him.
that's gonna be hard though, because it's like they've already shown the Senate,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like
true.
that's Palpatine right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Do you think they might? Hey, random question though. I know I asked you what you don't want to see. You guys think they might show Jar Jar Binks? Because he is part of the Senate.
That's true, man. Oh, that's true.
I don't know, man. I think we had the same question. Didn't we have the same question on Obi-Wan? I think we even
Oh
asked him like,
yeah.
what if they show him?
Yeah, what if? I don't know. But random question, but you don't have to answer that. Gio, what is something, if there's anything, you kind of don't want to see out of this show?
Jar Jar Binks, I think, is the number one.
Oh,
no,
poor Jar
no,
Jar. He's probably
no,
so depressed right now, man.
no,
Everybody's
no.
always dissing on him.
But on Jar Jar, man, I think that'd be cool to give him like kind of a redemption, like let the actor too come back and do his thing and show a little more range, I guess,
Yeah.
or no, not
Okay.
right, but yeah,
Yeah.
but but yeah, that's another thing with Palpatine. That's the Senate, so I feel like he's gonna have to show up at some point. Maybe.
I have another person that I just thought about that I would love to see more of, just because I love the actor so much, and that's Mads Mikkelsen, the guy that played Jin's
Yeah.
father. Because
Oh, yes.
I love that actor as just by himself, and I don't know how much he would fit into the story, because I know he was with them for a while, like helping them out and everything. So I don't know if they'll show him, but I just love the actor like in general. So I would love to see him part of this.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good bad guy. He was really
Yeah.
good in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, this is funny, but it's the truth. I don't want to see nobody doing flashbacks and Bacta things. That's for damn sure. I don't want to see. And I damn don't want to see anybody riding in through a fucking Rancor or anything
Or
stupid
colorful
like.
scooters.
Yeah, I don't want to see no Power Ranger wannabes riding on some scooters here. And but yeah, no, I mean,
Well,
this.
Dave, let me ask you. One of the main things that like a lot of people are saying they don't want to see, and I want to know your take on this. Do you want to see Jedi lightsabers, any of that, or do you want it to kind of stray away from that?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That's a good question. And it's kind of a trick question, I want to say. I don't think we're going to see. Oh, man. I don't know what they can do. I mean, we could possibly see a Jedi, but not like a practicing Jedi. Maybe kind of like, I mean, I don't think we're going to see like lightsaber fighting in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to see lightsaber fighting. Will we see a lightsaber? I would say probably. Whether it's at the helm of on their belts, yeah. but I don't think you're gonna see it, being wielded like in a fight or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that too, because there's one damn thing I wouldn't mind seeing. Okay, and here I go with my favorite character of all time. I don't mind seeing Crimson Dawn, because Darth Maul's in charge of Crimson Dawn right now.
Yeah.
This is only 5 years from Rogue One, so I think Crimson Dawn still might be in play. I don't know. I could be wrong, and if not, he's still alive at this particular point in time, I believe. But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. If I can remember, it could be very close because it's when he meets Obi-Wan and faces him off from Rebels. It's oh man,
But I feel like
that's
if you have
so
someone
far
that
away.
powerful, if you have someone that powerful coming in, you kind of have to have someone to balance that out, or else it's just like a
No,
massacre.
it's more of like the underground gangsters and syndicates and all that stuff. That's what I'm going as. Like
Yeah.
he could have his lightsaber, on his show on his thing. He could just
Yeah.
light it up to threaten somebody, but he's not going to be like. I don't think he's going to be like in a duel or anything. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. We could possibly see, Vader just from the not try from the neck down, even. You know what I'm saying? Just walking, you feel his presence, but not
Yeah.
be in action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or not even have a line or anything. You just know his presence is near, or like a fallen Jedi,
Yeah.
a runaway Jedi, just on some random planet that, or like a saga, like a just a random fallen Jedi. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna be like a Jedi. I don't think we're gonna see like a fighting Jedi or anything like that, or
Yeah, because
lightsabers.
that'll take away from like
Yeah,
the rest of the characters. And,
Yeah.
so,
this is all. And it should be. This is all should be political, almost like a Game of Thrones-esque thing. I wanna see out of this thing, as far as everything's all political, scheming, backstabbing. What
yeah.
allegiance are you on? Oh, is it after a while you second guess your allegiance because they're making you do this and this, and why people were for the Empire.
Mhm.
It wasn't because there were bad guys who were for the Empire. People were for the Empire because they liked the political their views, kind of like Republicans versus Democrats almost, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like democracy versus communism. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like why they believe in the Empire's way, and then why, or vice versa, why they want to be in the Rebellion's alliance type
Yeah.
way.
That's where I see the potential for this show too. Is you can show the rebellion, like the rebels, do some dark stuff too. Just because they're the good guys in the movies doesn't mean that they didn't do some
Yeah.
bad
dark
things to
things.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see Coruscant, a little bit more underground of Coruscant. We just get the top view and certain buildings in Coruscant, but Coruscant looks so cool. And there's a lot of stories and tales of Coruscant underground, even, and all these other planets too. They can explore, and I think they got a great opportunity to explore the underground stuff and not
I-
just concentrate on the main characters all the time. So
Yeah. I feel like this show, out of any show that's come out, has the most potential because it can
Yes.
go
Yeah.
so many different ways with this show. Like Han Solo, I mean not Han Solo, Obi-Wan had to stick with a certain like type of storyline. But with like Andor, it can go so many different ways. And I'm so excited to see what they do with it. Because I mean they have a lot of people that are excited and anticipating, what they're gonna do with the show. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see. One more question. Like, do you guys have a certain cameo that you would like to see as far as a cameo wise, or you really just want to you want new people and new characters and build on them and see where they go and see how far they go? Like, there's one that comes to my mind. Like, do you think what's his name, Wedge Antillion, could possibly, because he's part of the Rebel Alliance, so could he be cameo in here? How about you, Gio?
Yeah, there's like two that, well, my number one is I feel like you can't make a show about the start of the rebellion without Princess Leia, because she was huge.
Yeah.
And this is like what, 5 years before. Well, she was in Rogue One, so she would still be like, obviously it's not gonna be a little girl actress anymore, but yeah, she's like one of the she's one of the sparks of the rebellion.
She'd
So
definitely be a
definitely.
teenager in season 1.
Yeah.
yeah.
So with that being said, Rich, would you think we'll be seeing Jimmy Smeets reprising Senator Organa then, possibly making an appearance?
I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, and like what Gio was saying with Princess Leia, I could definitely see that happening too. She's like one of the backbones of the rebellion, so I could see that happening.
Yeah. One more if I can, Dave,
go
real
ahead.
quick. So speaking of the underground and all this, I feel like we haven't seen this person or this thing since like the original trilogy, but Jabba. Like Jabba the
Yes.
Hutt,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know, he runs a lot of that underground scheming type of stuff. So
And I
let me
have to
see a little
admit,
more Jabba.
I have to admit, that's one thing I was definitely disappointed in Obi-Wan when he was on Tatooine. No Jabba
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
that's true.
No mentions of really of the Hutts whatsoever in that series. And I was very disappointed in them. Like, he's on Tatooine. How is there no mention of the Hutt whatsoever?
Yeah, like he
How?
runs that. Yeah,
He runs it.
yeah.
How is there no mention of this guy? So I was very
true.
disappointed, and you brought up a good point right there. I would love to see Jabba on there as well. Just even if it's just for an episode or whatnot. Doing a run or doing I don't know, a spice run or whatever. I know people are gonna
Yeah.
nah, a spice run's for the Pikes. Yeah,
Well, no,
relax.
I want to
relax.
see why they fear him so much. Like, how do you fear Jabba? What? Like, because I get it. He has people loyal to him, and but he's a slug, man. Like, you want to take him out, you just take him out. Like, he really does. He can't run. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
So, well, like, why is he feared? Like, show me. Let me see
Yeah.
him do something badass.
How did he become in control of so much in Tatooine and was so revered on that planet? You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean they do. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean they showed how easy he was to kill. He just got choked out. It wasn't even that difficult. So
Yeah, but like, cause I mean, he's not necessarily for the rebellion, but he also hates the Empire. So like,
yeah,
maybe there was some times where he helped out the rebellion just to get back at the Empire, and something we can see on the show, hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, fellas. So they're gonna premiere Andor with 3 episodes on premiere day, right? Now I know the excuse is because they're pushing it back a little bit so they can catch up. But actually, are you okay with that? With 3 episodes dropping? I know the normal thing lately has been 2 episodes on a premiere, but 3 episodes? Does that give you cause to pause? I'll start with you, Mr. Gio.
No, I'll take. I mean, it's not like I have to watch them right away. It actually gives me more time, and I don't know. The more I get, the better. But from what I've gathered out of these like multi-episode releases, is that like I feel like dropping one episode is not enough information, maybe, or like that first episode just doesn't end with like something that keeps them coming back. So like they need multiple in order to gather, I don't know, that attention span kind of.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
How about you, Rich? Normally it's just done with just a pilot, but now, lots of times, like I was saying, 65%, that's just a random number in my head that I said. 65%, pilots are kind of a little dull. I mean, we're just being spoiled. I just said we're just being spoiled with House of Dragons because that was one of the top 5 pilots ever that I ever seen in the series. So, and I know we're getting a little spoiled, but we had a little thing with Rings of Power with their pilot episode. So, what do you think about the 3 episode premiere?
That's exactly, like, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Not everyone could be House of Dragons. Not everyone can do what they did with their very first episode, not having to release anything else besides that first episode. So with Andor doing 3 episode drop, it gives them a pretty big grace period to catch people. So okay, if you don't like episode 1, if it's too slow for you, maybe episode 2, maybe episode 3 will bring you in. And because like we were talking about earlier when we reviewed Rings of Power, it was a slow burn.
Yes.
And this is very political. Like you said, it's very like Gio says, very Game of Thrones-esque. Like, it's gonna be a lot of political, a lot of talking. So I feel like a 3 episode was probably a must. So they have that grace period to catch people.
Yeah, for sure. It gives me a little cause to pause because I know that tells me more than likely 1, if not 2, is heart garbage. One of the episodes. Sorry.
No, but it could just be
seriously.
hot, like,
it's gonna be.
exposition.
I mean that in a nice way. The first one could be like where it's going to be a lot of character backstory and not a lot of
Yeah.
stuff happening, which I totally understand. Or it can go the Obi-Wan way. The first episode everybody liked, but the second episode everybody hated.
Yeah.
And that had a bad taste in its mouth going into episode 3, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's where the second episode is trash, hot garbage, like Obi-Wan is, and they're like, oh, we don't want to have a bad taste in their mouth going to the next episode. We'll give them episode 3. This is just me overanalyzing, possibly, folks. Or it's just like, how it is. It's a lot of character backstory in the first one, and maybe even in the second one it draws into. So maybe that's what it is. And either way, I have high hopes for this series, just like all of you have said. We're correct that you still got high hopes for this series.
I'm hoping
definitely.
episode 3 ends with like something to hook you, because that's that's how you get them to come back. Yeah.
And like what Gio was saying, he's actually wrong. He doesn't have time in the world to watch those 3 episodes because he has to watch them as soon as they come out, because all 3 of us are coming back and we're going to do a review on all 3 of those episodes. So he's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm in. Gun to my head. I'm in.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Yes, boss.
Well, I think I'm going to leave it right there. It's just a small little preview of Andor, what we kind of expect, and kind of discuss what we want from this show. And I'm excited. There's so many questions I want answered, and I want to see, and I'm going to be very, very, surprised in what angles are going to be going and everything. And I know it's just the first season, but man, I have such high hopes for this series compared to all the other series that we had from Star Wars. I know everybody's just, well, what about Mando and Mandalorian? Mando season 2. You can't. I don't know how you're ever going to beat that, but that was an awesome season. But
Definitely.
as far as Andor, man, I'm just excited. Like Gio said, there's so many things you could do with this rebellion versus the Senate type deal, and so many different things you can do politically, and it's very interesting where they're going to take this. Any last words, guys? Or you guys kind of said whatever you wanted to say on the show?
No, just to piggyback off Rich earlier, like, I think this has the most potential.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I mean, they already greenlit season 2, I think. I think they see the potential too, like Disney. They probably saw, whatever the cut is that they have for season 1, and they're like, yeah, this is gonna be big. At least that's what I hope,
And now Gio implanted in my head. Now I want more Donnie Yen.
Man, I wish, dude.
Yeah.
He needs his own little, at least like a short film or something, man.
Yeah, dude.
So
at least for the fighting and everything, man.
Maybe they'll show you more history on Jeddah then. The planet they were on. Maybe they'll show more history on Jeddah. Why, Jeddah was so.
I mean, Saw ends up there
in the light in a kyber crystals. Why that place was so integral with kyber crystals, and maybe give you a little brief history on that. That would be kind of cool. I think that'd be cool. Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. This show, it can go so many different ways. They got so much. It's got so much potential. So
yeah, man, this could be their Game of Thrones, man. Like,
that's true. It could be. Yeah, it could be. What about you out there? What do you guys think? Do you think this could be what Gio just said? Could be like their Game of Thrones with the politics? And what are you most excited about this series coming up? Leave your comments down below. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button because it really, truly helps us out. Yeah, you go, Gio. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and help us get to 500 subscribers. We'll truly appreciate that. Hit the notification bell and share. Also, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at the Scoundrels Podcast. And we truly appreciate it. Gio, thank you so much for joining us. Great time with you on this as usual. Thank you for joining us. Rich, Dave, and Gio on the podcast. Peace.